have that like heavy impacts there, but where they are feeling challenging to style, at least without a little bit of prep. I have been avoiding heat styling my hair for a lot of reasons, just because of everything that's been going on, but also dealing with them. I feel like they're better now and I'm happier. I don't know that this is how I was planning on originally styling this outfit, but we are getting back into the routine of shooting today. I am prepping right now to go shoot this dress and then to catch up with the other Savannah, who is currently as my intern slash manager. So I want to make sure that she's all prepped. Hi bub, with everything that she needs, and I haven't got a chance to wear these earrings for a while. Sorry, mom duties. I haven't got a chance to wear these earrings in a while, and I'm honestly so obsessed with this makeup. I tend to do that thing where I think I have more time to do makeup than I actually do, and that was this morning, but sometimes I'll like play with it and do the wrong thing, and I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. Like, I would absolutely repeat this. I noticed when I was editing my photos this morning that I could see in some of the shots that we actually got, because of the camera that we were using and angles that we were shooting, you could actually see the way that I was doing like that lighter inner crease. And I love that. I love that for me. I love that for us. It was fun and beautiful experience. We are going to pair this with the pink Badly Mishkas, and then we're going to do the pink Gold Gaia for today. But I don't think we need like a super insanely bright lip. I think we can go something more muted. So realizing as I look at this that we really need to charge the closet lights. I can't decide if I want to go with like a lighter pinkness, it's going to kind of give the vibe for things, or if we should just go with our standard option. But let's line it with the more brownie pink color that we have in our collection and then kind of see what we get from there. I think this will be a good little easy vibe because I've already kind of done the shadowing on my lips. So I think it'll work for today. I don't know that it'll be what I would want to do next time. I went ahead and added concealer in the center, and I have to say that the Hourglass concealer, as far as like the concealer that you put on your lip to kind of add that lightness back in if you're wanting to kind of give depth to the look, something that's a thicker concealer is a little bit better because it's easier to kind of control where it goes. I love my Armani concealer for kind of under the eye because I feel like it's lighter and it doesn't have that like heavy impacts there, but the Hourglass concealer is really great for that kind of that center. So I did that on the outside of the Kylie, whichever brown one. I will link the one that I feel like is a good option. It's normally in the description box below. And then I don't feel like the Rhode is pigmented enough to really have like a strong impact. So if you're wanting something simple, this is a good option, but it's not like too pigmented, and I think I was thinking it would be more pigmented. I think the Hourglass Lure, which is a balm, we'll try that maybe later tonight or tomorrow, but I do feel like this was a little bit light, but I still like the combo. I'm happy with how my lips look today. So it didn't seem to be as easy to scout for where we're shooting, but let's see if we can find a good spot. Do you want to walk the car? Yeah. But we've come down to the marina area, and I haven't stayed at the new hotel since they've added it, but we're gonna see if we can get something kind of in this vibe. And now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot to grab the other SD card for the camera, but there's one in there, so we can probably make that work. We're just gonna figure this out. Got back from shooting like an hour and a half ago, maybe almost 2 hours, probably somewhere in between that. And I've been finishing the video that is 2 videos before this. We're kind of starting to get ahead, and I'm filming more right now, and I'm trying to hit the loop for that. But it took me like an hour and a half to do all of the like thumbnail and all of the detailing in the caption and description box for that. So that is all finished, but now I'm going to take a minute and kind of situate my face for round 2 of this. I threw my towel on as soon as I got home because I want to wear that white dress this weekend for the baby shower that I'm going to. I was thinking about that dress or the other white dress, but the other white dress I'm going to need to shoot at a different time, specifically here, but maybe we'll see about doing a little girl staycation somewhere locally. I can't do that dress up by myself to get it all the way up, so kind of finessing this with that situation. But the one thing I wanted to take a second to chat about, because I don't know how loud it's going to be in the car and kind of catching up on all the vibes, doing kind of a Galentine situation or just tips for eating on 30A. Because one of the things that's quite popular with some of the more Elliott restaurants, places that are probably a little bit bougier, is that anytime there's some kind of holiday or event, what you're going to find with a menu is that it's normally going to be a set menu. They tend to do that for New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. You'll see it for restaurants that are open on Thanksgiving Day. There's a handful of things that they do, and they will have some kind of something that's got several courses. So if you're wanting to eat at these restaurants as a kind of a celebration and you're wanting to enjoy that, because There are a lot of different restaurants I'll talk about in a second that I feel like really fit the vibe for either romance or just the energy of, you know, like wanting that just bougie night out that's near the beach, it's kind of decadent, that has good food. The Pearl is really good for kind of drinks in the evening if you're wanting that situation, that at least their rooftop hotel. I always tell people to go to Pescado. Like, it's the one place that I take anybody who's coming to visit, because it is one of the few places, if not one of the only places, that you can actually sit and have a view of the ocean. And the like beach portion for 38 is prettier to me than the beach portion on Panama City Beach. There's something about how it kind of separates. I just feel like it's cleaner, it's nicer, and if you go, you want to sit in the bar area, which is not reservation. So, and going kind of early and then asking to sit outside, it is a covered section. If you can go, like, I'd say if you can get in about 30 minutes to 45 minutes before sunset, you will watch the whole thing from that angle, and it is absolutely stunning. But Pescado's upstairs, Courtyard's downstairs, and that's good for drinks. We're gonna go to La Crema tonight, and it's one of the few places that offers tapas. I've done a lot of different reviews on all of these restaurants on the blog to give you more details if you've got more dietary restrictions, because I am gluten and dairy free most of the time. I really need to be dairy free, and we're kind of getting me back to being fully gluten free, but both of those things are kind of essential for me. And I know I have a best friend who is celiac, so we all know somebody who's kind of dealing with it. So I try to make sure that I can give you as much info as possible. So Pescado has good options. We're gonna go to La Crema tonight, and La Crema does tapas, which is one of the few places, if maybe the only place that I found locally that does tapas. And I love just, we'll probably get the Brussels sprouts, we'll probably get something else if we're kind of in the mood for it. And this is why I feel like it's such a perfect kind of Galentine's Day or Valentine's Day, is because they do the chocolate fondue. They do a cheese fondue, but they do a chocolate fondue, and you can get it gluten-free, meaning they do the version without the pound cake. So, and it's absolutely delicious. It is like, even if for nothing else, you're like, I'm gonna grab a glass of Prosecco and have a chocolate fondue moment at La Crema, that would win for you. Edward's Fine Food and Wine is so incredibly delicious. They have so many good things. We got to do a sample tasting with them a couple of years ago. We pretty much ordered whatever we want. Like, we each had all of the different courses, 2 of us ordering, and it was just so good. Their dishes are divine. Love them. You really can't go wrong with any of the places in Rosemary that have that more evening style. The only thing that you're going to run into is, depending on the time of the year that you're going, it's either going to be not really available, because that's some of the things that I always hear from people, is most people come here during tourist season, and so when they come, of course, there's like, it's a beach area, and a lot of people come with their families, so then they've got really big parties, and they're trying to suddenly accommodate a party for like 6, and that's just not gonna happen. Anywhere over that like bigger mark where you start needing a full table and it's not easy to accommodate you, the best time to try all the places that you're normally not gonna get into is like this time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year to be a local here, because I get to go everywhere. I get to kind of see it all, and you really can't go wrong. I do feel like, as much as I love the Citizen, and we went to Oku a couple of months ago for their opening, which I need to go back, but we went for, they invited me to the opening, and it was delicious, and we tried lots of things. I like both of those, but I feel like the romance and the ambiance really lives a little bit more in the restaurants in 38 or like in Rosemary. Like, there's 2 different ones on catty corners of each other, the names I forget, and I like both of them for different reasons. Honestly, you can get a good meal anywhere, but like, if you're looking for that like romantic kind of vibe, all of the ones in Rosemary are my top favorite. I like the Citizen, but it is not as like, I just feel like that ambiance isn't the same. It's still there, it's still vibey, but I tend to go there for other stuff. But also, like, they have good oysters, they have good food, they still have really good mood lighting. It's just not what I would think of first if I was looking for something that's kind of in that more romantic like space, like a good date night or a good girls night where you just want to be cozy. But in saying that, you want to be cozy, hot, you want to have a good drink, you have a good meal, all of those things. In saying that, I feel like one of the hidden gems of 38, and I have a whole blog post on this, and I might regret talking about this again, because every time I talk about one of these places, I can no longer get in. I had one with the coffee shop that I found. I can no longer get in because everybody else is going there, which I love for like local businesses. Like, I'm not mad at that. But there is a specifically cocktail only spot in Rosemary or in Alys Beach called Neat. And it's a great place to go. They have more nibbles now. They used to not really have any good like snacky bits or anything that you could kind of eat if you needed like something before, or maybe you were killing time before a reservation in the area. But it's honestly just one of my favorites. I love going there. I love taking, because they also do like specialty cocktails. They also work with like local businesses to incorporate some of their stuff. So like we have a really good local kombucha place called Noli South that you can get, I don't know if you can get it at the grocery store, but they definitely sell it at a few stores locally, and then they're normally at the farmer's market in Rosemary on Sunday. But either way, all of those things, you can't go wrong with it. But I will say it's just about planning and knowing, and it's not ideal. If you're really wanting to experience these restaurants, the best way to do them is actually not on the holiday unless you're in the mood to do a really specific menu, because that is something that's quite frequent for a lot of the restaurants that are kind of in that range, is that they'll do different kind of cheered menus or like themed menus or whatever. I know that we were talking about the other night is that Cuvée has like a champagne tasting menu coming up, but a lot of those menus don't really accommodate people who maybe are either gluten-free, dairy-free, or I can handle like a small amount of dairy. I've tried to like make sure that I have a little bit of each in my diet so that I'm not like overly sensitive to them. And a lot of times those menus are really heavy in dairy. So that is one of those like, come enjoy. There's so many beautiful places to enjoy like Valentine's and Galentines on 38, but if you want to actually kind of experience the menu and you want to have a little bit more flexibility, you're probably not going to go on a night where it's actually the holiday, because they do have those theme menus. And all of their Instagrams will tell you and give you kind of the breakdown of cost, but it's also going to be more of an investment. I think most of the time any of them run at like 150 per person. And sometimes you can actually just get that because there's tons of courses and you're not necessarily going to eat it all, that you could split, but I don't know that they always let you. So it's worth doing the research and kind of asking the questions. But because I am planning on titling this like a Galentine's Day on 38 situation, I wanted to make sure that you knew the best way to kind of navigate that, because as much fun as it seems, if you need to be more finessey and picky about it, it's actually better to go a different day. I also have to say, besides the fact that I love this makeup today, I am so in love with this palette. And for a few reasons. Number one, I've seen so many like very popular palettes that have kind of come out over the last few months that maybe are a little bit more limited edition. And the way that this specific one works, I feel like it's filled in all of the gaps that I might would have had if I had wanted to buy those palettes. Or it's just like, I'll come back to looking at them and be like, oh, I really like, there's one girl on TikTok who's done some incredible looks, and I'm like, oh, I really love all the looks that she's done with that palette. But then I'm just like, I can actually create it with this. Like, I've created so many more looks with this palette than I ever thought, because it just kind of hits everything. Like, I have my shimmers, I have my flats. It is quite massive, so maybe if you're somebody who travel with it, not necessarily the best, but like I do, I could live my life with just these two palettes and maybe my Anastasia one. Like, I don't have that many palettes, and I'm honestly so happy with what I'm able to create with the few that I do have. And the lip color looks a lot more chill right now, but we're gonna refresh her because we are putting on the red dress that I'm gonna need help with as far as navigating that. But my hair is heckin' bob flat. And this is what happens when you live near humidity, and for the most part I am always like within 1 mile of a body of water, and it doesn't hold. We love it, but it doesn't hold. Okay, we have a few things still. I think we're gonna change the earrings because I wore these already today. I didn't shoot them in earlier content, but that's okay. We're gonna swap those out. I think I'm gonna put my pearl earrings in because I just love these. I also really need to have this zipped up, but I'm a fan. I did throw on a little bit of boob tape. It's too short to actually wear the shapewear that I have currently, or at least the Honeylove that I was going to put on earlier, but it is one of my favorites. But I do feel like because I am kind of going out for the evening, we went ahead and took the Apple Watch off. I have ordered, oh wow, I just gotta pinch myself, a few new pieces online. So this is one, and it's another pavoy from Amazon, which I am very excited about. I do think we're gonna need a ring or two. That's okay. Instead, we are gonna wear my dearly beloved ring. Let's swap this guy out. I don't know if that'll fit. It might fit on my thumb. I was gonna kind of do swap around for that, but you know what? Maybe we will do more jewelry than normal. I don't know. I'm not normally too many of a ring girl. I don't know if I love that side by side or not. That might be just not where it's at tonight. Ugh. But I also have a ring mark from this situation, and this can always go over here, but that's a lot of drawing on the sand. I'm really overthinking this because I don't wear a lot of rings and such, but I do feel like it's a good evening for this. We need the Aura ring so she can go somewhere else. She's also kind of designed to go on the finger, but I always hate whenever I see somebody has a ring, like a nice ring on this finger, and it just kind of takes away from it if it's so close. But I do think maybe we switch this around. This feels a little bit more balanced to me. Plus I'm also used to having jewelry kind of on this hand. I'm literally overthinking my life right now. I love that they leave the lights on like year round. And the fountain. My favorite. I don't know why I even bothered to curl this a second time because it went flat like real quick. Hello. Look at all this parking.
It's nice.
Yeah, this is rare. Just so many good things. Do you see a wine that's calling to you tonight?
I see a few. So we're gonna wine up a couple of them.
You guys without an outro, but I am spending the day doing some editing. Also, we need to brush my hair real quick, and we ended up doing something that happens occasionally, but it's harder to do any other time of the year. And last night was one of those magical nights with, for whatever reason, it was like quiet on 38. Like when we went into Neat last night, we were the only ones in there. I can't remember the last time we were the only ones in Neat. So we started at La Crema. We went and kind of with the intention that we were going to shoot some photos, but I wasn't really finding the vision that felt appropriate for how I wanted to shoot that dress, which is, to be fair, completely fine. It just means that we have the opportunity to shoot it later. I don't want to like do photos that are less than the vision that I have for them, and I like having those really iconic moments because we've shot so many where we've just beautifully stumbled onto the perfect location that really just makes that moment. I like to settle for less. So it's a good opportunity to practice and kind of feel the vibe, but it was fun to wear. I definitely wore flats the whole night, which was nice, but I have to say, keeping in mind that dress is not it. Like, you were only sitting in that dress, and even then it was still a little short, just because of how my body is balanced. But we went to La Crema. The wine selection wasn't quite hitting for me. I ended up kind of doing something that I haven't done in a really long time, and I don't think I realized this until we were just kind of going about our day, because we were honestly place hopping for a few hours unintentionally. Like, we had fun and got to kind of chat with people and had a good experience at every place that we went, and because it was slower, it was like nice to kind of feel that vibe. But what I realized this morning as I was thinking about it, but even last night, is the healing that I've done with food and like the journey that I've been on. I really have gotten to this place of just like the beliefs around food are so different now, where it's like I always have food available. I always get to be sustained by food. I never have to worry about whether or not I'm going to have access to something, or I don't have rules around when I can eat or what I can eat, how much I can eat. Like, I truly honor and listen to my body. Like, a lot of those are affirmations for me, but they're affirmations that are beliefs. We started dinner, we ordered salad and the potatoes, which honestly, I haven't really been in the space for that. I've noticed that as I've shifted back into really healing my relationship around food, and I will talk about this more in a blog post and kind of in the Patreon like page of journaling stuff that we chat about over there, but like as I've kind of done that work, I've noticed how it's had that impact, it's had that change, and it's even more subtle. And so like, I've wanted to eat more vegetables. I felt more secure in my food choices. I haven't had that like thing in the back of your mind that's like, oh, you need to eat smaller portions so that you can eat whatever you want. Like, I just trust myself to know what my body needs and thrives on and sustains me, and I'm leaning into that. So we did that. We ordered the paella. I had a little bit of it. It was really good. It's quite a bit of rice. So it's definitely one of those that like, if you're wanting more protein, you might need to navigate adding extra protein somehow, or you might want to just take the rice home and add protein later. We went to Neat next, and I love my like go-to dessert is an old fashioned and then like a chocolate truffle. That is kind of my thing that I like. It's just a little bit of all of the things for me. At one point in time, they served those kind of things. Now, not so much. But I will say, everywhere we went last night had good mocktail options. And I'm really trying to keep that in mind, because I don't think that you should have to not have good options, or that I know so many of my friends who've been pregnant and have lived here, it's, you go out and the mocktail options don't feel great. But now that there's even more like non-alcoholic kind of dupes for stuff, I definitely saw a lot of those at the Citizen, which we love sitting at the bar there. That's the best. We finished our night there, as I still wanted something a little bit chocolatey, and I knew that they oftentimes have a dessert that I might kind of pick at, and I wasn't really ready for chocolate fondue when we were at La Crema. Like, I knew that I still kind of wanted to go on the journey, find some more stuff, find some more photos. So we actually ordered the ceviche, the red snapper ceviche, and then I got a chocolate martini, and she got, I can't remember, but I forgot to film it, and honestly, I will put in some of the photos because I've done a blog post on the Citizen, and I love them. I have such a great time there. I probably would have gone for fries because I feel like that's normally what I'm kind of craving at that end point. I'm like, I want like a chocolatey drink, or I want some kind of beverage, and then I want like a little bit of sweetness, and then I wanted salted fries, but they didn't have that. But the ceviche was really good. So I will leave all the restaurants down below, but also I have several blog posts on Things 38. I will be creating more this year, and I will leave those down there. But if you have questions about kind of doing that, let me know in the comments below. But I am getting ready to do a bit of packing, do a bit of baby gift wrapping, and prep for our trip to Atlanta this weekend, which I will be taking you guys with me for. So I love you. It is a good day to have a day, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye, guys.